Brilliant. The circuit is steaming wet, as in nasty wet. I've been out and done 3 or 4 laps in my old 911 and I've never known it more slippery. It's been greasy all morning and that's now just been topped by a nice layer of drizzle. So it's as slippery as you like, and just the conditions for a 400 and something horsepower rear drive saloon that's known to have certain traction issues. So let's give it one more go. This genuinely is the first time I've really extended this M3. It's the first time I've revved it beyond 7,000 RPM. And it seems no better place to do it than the Nordschleife. But I'm a little apprehensive really, because it is so wet, and the other cars I've driven here today haven't been the best. I'm leaving all the traction control on. You can call me a Jessie if you want, but I'll happily take that. I'm a little bit terrified. So if I look apprehensive and I don't say enough, I apologise. Okay, so a lap of the Nordschleife in November, in the wet, in the new M3. Up to third gear, 8,000 RPM, we're well beyond 100 miles an hour already. Down into Tiergarten, compression had indicated 120. God, big numbers, but as ever, the circuit just saps the speed. It doesn't feel that quick as you clip these curbs here. Down to third. God. Some of the criticism level of this car I don't fully understand, I have to admit. Yeah, there are more exciting cars on sale, but 4 litre V8 that revs to beyond 8,000 RPM and sounds like nothing else in the car world. It's just so exciting. Listen to that. Love it. Anyhow, down towards the Hatzenbach. The Hatzenbach is the first part of the Nordschleife, the first part of the old circuit. Very tight technical section that we dropped down to. It would appear to me that earlier on someone took the Hatzenbach away and replaced it with an ice skating rink. You couldn't get through it at anything more than 20 miles an hour. I mean, we're at hugely reduced speed here already. We've got some understeer on the wet, we've got some oversteer at the back as well, which is being managed by the flashing lights on my dashboard. See if this nice man in the 968 lets us past. One of the problems with getting up people's backsides and then muscling your way by in these conditions is you get past and then you don't seem to pull away. And all your aggression seems rather misplaced. Let's see if he lets us go. He does. Let's see if he embarrasses me and comes back past me. Thank you, Mr. Clubspool. Okay, this is the most slippery corner. Hoation. That's the most slippery corner on the circuit. The tree appears to be called a diesel tree because it drizzles something rather like diesel onto the circuit. Okay, 4th gear, we're heading out over the bridge towards Flugplatz, German flying place in English, obviously, and yes, you do fly here in the dry, but we're not cresting there. Even in the wet, we're cresting it. 95, 100, turn the car in. Good Lord, it's slippery here. Okay, and now the long draw all the way down to Schwedenkreuz. So we're flat in 4th. Flat in 4th. Really travelling now, 120. Don't really want to think about the numbers. 130. Up to 140. I'm going to have a break before the crest because I just don't like these conditions at all. I'm going to take 4th gear as well. Slippery. The little yellow light on the dashboard is dancing away quite merrily here. 3rd gear. Someone's had a whoopsie there. Crikey, another look at that. Right. Arenberg. Out onto the curb, just nudge the curb and then accelerate hard. Bloody hell, this thing's fast. Down to the foxhole. Am I flat out? Am I hell? Not a chance in this weather, but we are accruing speed at quite a rate here. Oh, God. Into the compression. I'm braking hard before that. It's slippery, slippery around here. Slippery, slippery. Right, okay, and now we're down to Adenauer Forest. Adenauer Forest. Let me just see a bit more. It will. Yes. If you want to go skids, you can. Yes. Puerile but excellent fun. Down into the Carousel. Some people like to go through the Carousel at a zillion miles an hour. I prefer not to. I don't see the point. All you stand to do is break your car. It just does drive shafts and all sorts of horrible things. God, it goes, this thing. It really goes. Third. I'm going to leave it in third before this left kink, because fourth we're going to understeer out. Oh crikey, we're right on the edge of the circuit anyway. Okay. Up into the highest point on the circuit. Many an accident here. Big high curbs, very slippery. This is the most slippery part of the circuit. Like the hats and back, it's just treacherous on days like today. Look at that. Now that is the value of RMA track days for you. Some bloke turns up in his C-Type and goes for a drive in it. Look at him, what a legend. A C-Type Jaguar on a damp Nordschleife. There are people here who have got £40,000 Porsches that won't go out for a spin because they're a bit concerned. And there's this chap in something that's worth more than a stately home. Brilliant. Here's an individual in a Caterham. Doesn't seem that keen to get out of the way. They're going to take the line? No, we'll go through. Right, let's concentrate again. Down to Brunchen. Brunchen, famous whenever you see a spy shot of a car, it's taken on this right-hander here, because all the photographers lurk around up there. So where you see all your snapshots, Shuey driving a 599 was on that corner. Now this is called the ice curve, an insignificant, you'd think, left-hander in third gear. Also the most technical corner on the circuit. The cambers are all over the place. Did I take it well then? No, not really. There we go. Down towards Flansgarten, effectively the second Flugplatz. Jump there. Oh, crikey. Try and stop it before this great big gravel pit on the left. Working round. Got a little 1 Series in front of us. Is he going to let us go? He is. And then we've got a C-Class. Ominously like hire cars, don't they? Are people being a bit cheeky? Clever, isn't it? Get yourself a hire car, crash it, take it out onto the road, get someone to dump it in a hedge. Oh, sorry, I was driving along the road and I had a shunt. It's only when they spot the red and white curb markings on the wheels that they realise what's going on. Okay, Schwalbenschwanz. I don't know what that means in German, but I translate it as, you don't want to fall off here because you'll probably kill yourself. There we go. And now, oversteer everywhere here. I'm letting the computer do it all because I just don't fancy it today. Second gear into what's called the mini carousel, for obvious reasons. It's just a small carousel. And accelerate hard out. Second, third. God, it pulls. It really pulls. Turning in early into Galgenkopf, you could argue is one of the most important corners on the circuit because it determines your speed onto this back straight. And here we go then. This will now be the fastest I've ever been in my M3. Oh, oversteer on the exit. Crikey. So 8.5 in third. Eight. 8.5 in fourth. Crikey. Up to 150 already. 155 indicated. Well, the limiter doesn't work then. 160 indicated. 162, and we've got something in front of us that wants to turn in front of us. We don't really want him doing that, do we? No. There you go. All I can say is driving this thing in the wet is pretty fraught. It's got so much power. I think it would still feel unmanageable with 50, 60 horsepower less, but as it is, God. But, it's slippery around here. It is slippery, slippery, slippery around here. So is that worth it? Do you know what? I'm not scared that I am excited. It is a very exciting car in the wet because it's got so much more power than it has traction. But I've just seen a 968 in the wall. I've just seen many other bits and bobs that scare you a bit. If it had been dry, it would have been the perfect way to exploit my new toy's performance. As it was, okay, I did 160 in it legally. I'm going to have a cup of tea and thank myself that it's still in one piece and I'm still alive at the moment.